First job out of college was in New York, so I worked on Wall Street and started off as a proprietary trader.
The original proprietary trader.
The original one, yeah, exactly. 2008, so it was a crazy market to learn in, let's say.
What was that moment when you're like, okay, sales are great, working at a company is great, but I want to do my own business?
Yeah, start to look at setting up my own company, and we spoke, me and my ex-colleague, and we decided to set up together. Essentially, that was I'd saved commissions, etc., through my whole career, and put my life savings into the venture, and it was bootstrapped. I think it's just going to make things a lot easier for people in terms of understanding of where to invest and what to invest and why to invest. AI is going to be easy to understand, but now the crypto exchanges are getting very interested in traditional assets, and they've got their way of looking at things, and they see a convergence as well.
Welcome to the Your Bourse Podcast, Management Edition. I'm your host, Kate Rutkovskaya, Chief Revenue Officer at Your Bourse, the technology provider for retail, FX and CFD industry, offering bridge technology, risk management solutions, and a trading platform. This podcast isn't just about numbers, trades, or technology. It's more about the people behind it. The founders and CEOs scaling brokerages and prop firms, the visionaries redefining the future of finance. In each episode, we dive into their stories, strategies, and lessons, exploring everything from leadership to team building and scaling businesses and entering new markets. Hope you enjoy it. Today we're joined by Nick Cooke, the founder and CEO of Taurex. Welcome, Nick.
Thank you, Kate. Pleasure to be here.
Thanks for joining. To kick things off, let's talk about your background so our audience gets to know you a little bit better. How and when did you start in the FX industry?
Yeah, sure. So I'm seen a little bit now as an industry veteran. I'm not sure how that makes me feel at times, but yeah, I've been in the industry about 20 years and came into the industry from a finance degree, financial background. I studied finance in college in the US. And my first job out of college was in New York. So I worked on Wall Street and started off as a proprietary trader. So
the original proprietary trader.
The original one, yeah, exactly. It's different to the funded trader program that we're seeing now in our industry. And we obviously have a funded trader program, but I started off on a prop desk in New York, and I traded for about a year. On that prop desk. It was right in the middle of the financial crisis.
Ooh, so fun times.
Yeah, exactly. In 2008. So it was a crazy market to learn in, let's say. The markets were the most volatile that they were in decades. So a really good learning experience, and really learned a lot about the markets and how the markets move, price action, and reading the underlying order flow. So buyers and sellers, and understanding what makes the market move and the mechanics of the market. After that year, I loved the markets and loved trading, but there was an opportunity that came up as to be a broker, so move more to the sell side. And so the information and the expertise that I'd learned being a trader, I wanted to move on to the broker side, and that's where I landed upon a company called FXCM. So I think you know them pretty well, and that was my first job in the FX industry. What a learning experience that was. I started off as a salesperson, calling clients, so it was the old 100 calls a day, chatting to customers online as well, and essentially trying to convert clients to sign up for trading accounts and become traders themselves and invest their own capital into trading. And again, from what I'd learned from being a trader myself and then talking to traders every day, that was a really good background for me to be able to have good discussions with traders and try and convert them to investment accounts. So that's where I started in the industry. That was nearly 20 years ago. As I said, I worked my way up in FXCM, and I was not long after starting as a salesman or a sales executive, I was managing my own team. I managed my own team in New York for about a year and a half, 2 years, and then I was given an opportunity to run a country and a region, moved to Sydney, Australia, and I ran Australia and New Zealand for about a year and a half, and then I moved back to London. So originally from the UK, I went full circle, all the way back home, all the way New York, Sydney, and London. So I was with FXCM for about 7 years, 7 years in total, through various positions and management positions, and so all on the sales background, working with partners, working with retail customers, started to do a bit of institutional as well. So full commercial background, and I then moved on to another broker in the UK as well, in London, after my move to London, to a company called LCG. I was head of the IB and retail, so the head of sales pretty much. So again, working very much on the sales side, talking to traders, learning what traders need, and I guess the experience from FXCM that gave me the experience for LCG to be a head of sales, and so after LCG, essentially started my own broker then. So that's basically not Taurex, but a different broker.
How did that happen? What was that moment when you're like, okay, sales are great, working at a company is great, but I want to do my own business?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I'd been on the sales side and working as a head of, as I said, and an ex-colleague of mine from FXCM who focused on South America business. We were very close friends, having worked together in New York. And when I was at LCG, I knew that I wanted to get into the entrepreneurship and start to look at setting up my own company. And we spoke, me and my ex-colleague, and we decided to set up together. And I was based in London, and FCA regulation is the flagship regulation that you can get in the industry. And I knew other people that had got and started FCA regulated brokers, and essentially joined with my partner, and we decided to get the FCA regulation. And we believed, based on the book of business that we both had and the experience of understanding the FCA regulation and living in London, that there was an opportunity to grow a smaller boutique broker. That broker was called GMG. And essentially, that was, I'd saved commissions, etc., through my whole career, and put my life savings into the venture, and it was bootstrapped. So me and my partner from South America, who was living in Miami at the time, we started that venture together, GMG, and that was my first step into owning and running my own brokerage. So very different from just being a head of. Then you get the experience of,
I bet,
of all different departments. You're learning the compliance side more, and you're the lead in the team and the company to get FCA regulation. Operational side, the trading ops side, learning everything. It's not only sales, and you're basically learning all aspects of the business. And that's where kind of my first foray into starting a company, and that was a company before starting Taurex. So that's when I stepped into entrepreneurship.
Nice. How was that experience, putting your own life savings on the map and betting on yourself, basically? How did that work out for you?
Yeah, so it was obviously a bold move.
Very bold.
Yeah, and we knew that we had a book of business to plug straight into the broker, so we had a level of confidence that we could, we could get things up and running and get revenues going through the business quite quickly. The FCA regulation is a difficult thing to get in any case, but it took quite a while to get the regulation, which is quite normal. You're told by consultants that you can get up and running within 6 months. And when we submitted the application for the FCA, I'd already stepped away from LCG at that point, so I didn't want to work anywhere else. I was registered as a CEO in our FCA application. So it took a lot longer than we thought. It took over 12 months, and that can be quite normal. So the time to go from the idea to executing and starting the business was longer than anticipated. But as soon as we got going, and as soon as we got the approval, we worked hard straight away and started plugging in business. And essentially it grew quite in terms of like organically with our own book of business, bit by bit. It was always a small team, and it was very much customized liquidity and working with, again, old partners and old clients that we knew what they were looking for, and we plugged them straight in. And the growth was, a lot slower because it was bootstrapped and organic. So you land one or two big customers, and then you start getting revenues, and maybe you can hire somebody else and start, investing more into the business, but you're always chasing your tail a little bit. That okay, you get some big clients, and then something might happen that you lose those clients, and that's the challenge of all the time, making sure that you're replenishing and making sure that you've got clients coming in at all times. So it was a fantastic experience, and it ended up well. I ended up selling the company after 3 years of running it, and sold to investors. And so I look at that as a successful venture, and it certainly gave me a lot of experience moving into Taurex now. And
so what was the Taurex story then? How did you start that? How did you launch? What was the fundraising like?
Yeah, so I sat out after starting and selling GMG, which is my old company. I did a 100% exit on the business, so I sold the entire company. At that point as well, I'd run the business for 3 years. Halfway through, I ended up buying out my partner, who was based in the US, as I said, in Miami. And so I bought him out halfway through and then exited the business after about 3 years. So I did a 100% exit. And I sat out for about a year and figured out, okay, what do I want to do next? I've been doing this industry business my whole career. I'll take a little bit of a break, see what I want to do next. I invested in some property developments, and which is a lot slower in terms of the how things move
compared different industry
compared to the FX industry and how fast the FX industry is.
Yeah.
And essentially, I got the bug of starting my own company, and as I said, it was a successful exit, but knew that I wanted to go back in and try again, but go on more of a global scale. As I said, my first company that I started was very much boutique with fewer clients, and highly focused on old clients, and making sure that they have what they need. But having got that experience, I got the bug to really think about something where it could go global and a much bigger and a larger organization, and really try and build something that's a global brand, a global name. And with that, also, to get to that level, I think bootstrapping is very, very difficult. So essentially what I did on the second venture, I went and got an FCA license again to start the business in the UK, obviously still based in London at this point. And I was introduced to an investor who was wanting to get into the industry it was pretty much as soon as I got the FCA regulation. So I already got a regulated company about to launch, and was introduced to an investor who liked the industry, and who'd never been in the industry but been successful in many other industries. And I made a decision straight away to partner with him. We pretty much, I put a business plan together. We discussed what my aspirations were for the business, what his aspirations were for the business, and things moved quite quickly, and we decided to partner straight away. And he's still my partner today, and we're growing the business at a pretty fast rate. So. Oh,
that's lovely to hear. So it was basically a match made in heaven.
Yeah, so far so good. We've been partners now for about nearly 6 years.
Wonderful.
So we've been nothing's changed with the ownership structure. I am the operator of the business, and as CEO and overseeing daily and working every day to grow the company. And he is I see him quite regularly. He's also based in Dubai, where I'm based now, and we meet once a week and discuss the business. And so he's passively involved, I'd say. He knows exactly what's going on with the business, but he's been very supportive to our growth as well.
Oh, that's great. And just for the record, we're recording this podcast in Phuket, where Nick has been residing for a couple of weeks, several weeks with the family, and going around Asia, where you guys have a lot of offices. And can you tell me about this experience? Because I think it's quite unique for a founder or CEO to do something like that, to involve the family, into growing the business, basically. Yeah. How was it for you?
It's been great. What a lovely island. It's been fantastic to base the family here. I've been here for 4 weeks. Been nice to beat the Dubai heat, get out of the 50 degrees. And but it's important. I travel a lot for the business, which I think anyone leading a team, leading the strategy, understanding your people and understanding what makes what makes your people tick. And Asia's such a huge region for us. It's got massive opportunity still. I'd say it's in terms of population wise, it's absolutely huge. Southeast Asia. And there are a lot of brokers here. I would, you could look at it and say it's quite saturated, but based on the number of people versus the number of traders and investors, there's probably still massive opportunity here. So, I decided to come over this summer. I was in the UK, which is home, and worked out of London for 3 weeks, and then came here with a family. But I've been so we've got presence in Vietnam, presence here in Thailand, in Bangkok, and presence in KL, in Malaysia, which is quite an operational office, and I'd say our largest office in Southeast Asia. And we've got aspirations to go to Indonesia. We don't do much there, and other parts as well, and we do bits in China. And really, the reason why I like to come out, I've spent a week in Vietnam, a week in KL in Malaysia, and I've been in Bangkok the last few days, and about to head back to Dubai on Saturday. But I obviously meet the team and speak to the salespeople, get a lot of feedback about what needs improving, and again, it's that kind of commercial mindset, which is really important. Understanding clients, understanding what they're looking for, because each region is quite different, and Asia is very nuanced in itself. There's a lot of different requests in Asia versus other parts of the world, and to win that business, you really have to understand and decide for your business if what the partners are asking for, if it's worth building out, if it's worth offering kind of bonuses or the leverage requests and things like that from a risk management perspective. But yeah, I've been sitting with partners and IBs and our team the last 4 weeks and hearing their side of what's going on. They are referring business to us. They are working with us. A lot of them still work multi-broker, and it's a case of, okay, so how can we win more business? What do you need from us? How's the experience so far? What can we improve? And I need that. I need that intel for the whole strategy of the business, because, I think each IBs and partners they are going to demand things in order to send their traffic to you, but also as the leader of the business, I need to understand, okay, where does our time need investing? Where do our funds need investing based on the opportunities that we have? And I always think that there are opportunities in our industry. It's such a vast industry, and it's really making the right decisions and helping our salespeople make the right decisions of where to focus their efforts and which partners to focus on, which ones where we can meet their demands and whatnot. So yeah, I go out, meet face to face, take them out for dinner, and drinks and stuff like that, and just get a feeling, get their feeling and take that back to head office and work with our team to execute. That's that. Great. Yeah.
Amazing. So what is it? How would you define it? What is it, the secret for your success in the region? What is that, maybe one thing or a couple of things that you're doing differently from other brokers? As you said, it's quite a saturated market, so you need to obviously do this very customized, personalized approach. But maybe there is one thing that you absolutely love about the way you do things here that helps you win more business.
Yeah, so I think in terms of scale, Asia in general, if as a broker you can get it right and find the right partners and find the right channels and avenues, that the scale of the brokerage, the growth can be much quicker than other regions. It's not discounting other regions, and because we're present in Asia, we're present in Middle East, Africa, and Latin America. So very much our focus has always been emerging markets. But Asia specifically is, again, it's quite nuanced. There's a lot of requests, and it's quite competitive for partners as well. And there's also the risk management element that if you're partnering with the wrong partner, they're going to try and find an edge over the broker as well. Sometimes there's that battle between IBs and colluded attempts of bringing a lot of customers and a lot of traffic at the same time, which is not real trading flow and things like that. It's collusion and organisation of moving groups of traders to try and hit brokers, in terms of their risk management and on their overall book. So it's always playing that battle as well. So in terms of how we support our partners in Asia and further afield as well, we for the ones that have a lot of potential, we do back them as well in terms of helping them with their marketing. They're offering some kind of service. Might be as an education course. It might be it might be a strategy that they're teaching or anything along those lines. That if we can help them scale as well, we may do some kind of partnership support in terms of helping them fund and grow their business. And again, that's in terms of decision making and making sure that you're partnering with the right and funding the right businesses that can help. It's almost kind of like mini franchises of your business that are on the ground, boots on the ground, that can help you, build the traffic. But essentially, they already have a network. They have a network of traders. They have media networks and things like that where they can fly the flag locally for your brand. So I think in that regard, but there's a lot of, it's not only the fund backing and the fund support. I think in terms of the product challenges, there's always requests for, bonuses and high leverage. It's the typical product. And I think any broker coming into a place like Asia, if you don't have the experience in your team and understanding of when you're taking on too much risk and your bonuses are too good to be true and your spreads are too good to be true and the rebates are way too high, that it's not a sustainable model. You have to have your wits about you. And you have to, because again, it's very competitive, that there's a lot of demands. Everybody always wants the best rebates, the highest rebates and the lowest spreads, and then there's no margin to make. No
commission and no swaps.
Yeah, exactly. Swaps, everything, as we know. So you really have to have your wits about you. That there's a reason why the partners need a specific thing with the product or a certain offering. That essentially you're not kind of over promising as well and just racing to the bottom. And I think you still find a lot of unregulated brokers in Asia that will try that, and then they just won't risk manage it. Or they'll literally just close shop and not give the client funds back, which again is, we talk about regulation. It's a prerequisite of obviously offering a service, but there's still a lot of local investors that are getting stung by unregulated local outfits that might be a bit unscrupulous and targeting investor funds. And so again, it's that education and building a reputable brand and working with the right partners that can fly the flag to build your brand as a reputable brand as well. That you're here to stay, and that you want to do business, and that the whole team knows what they're doing, and we know the direction, and we know how we're going to get there. It's just going to take a bit of time. I think it's again, it is quite a competitive market, but it's there's still so much opportunity in Asia for sure, and it's always good to be over here to meet the partners and discuss with them.
Wonderful. And so you spoke about the global ambitions that you had with Taurex from the very beginning. So you do have this global presence right now, and you're also building other branches of business as in prop firm and the institutional business. How did that come about? And more importantly, how do you balance it out as the CEO, taking care of the new branches and new services that you start providing to your clients while focusing on also the core business? How do you do that?
Yeah, it's not always easy. I mean, it's been a crazy ride in general, just in terms of a very fun ride, an exciting ride, and I think entrepreneurship is always it's always ups and downs. It's never going to be a straight line. But we've gone from since I started the company within 5-6 years to 240 staff globally. That's great. I mean, it's
impressive.
Huge growth, and myself, I've moved around. I've lived in 3 different countries already in 5-6 years to grow that global and the global aspirations and make sure that I started in London, went to Malaysia, make sure that we had the right people there, got an office and got things going there. And then moved to Dubai and did exactly the same thing, started the office there, and now that office is 40, 50 people. And so I think in terms of adding the bolt-ons, which I wouldn't say are even bolt-ons, they're revenue generators for your company. The main focus for us is to grow the brand globally, and it is growing very, very quickly. The core business is, we are looking to be a mass market broker. Like an FXCM, we was at one point in time at the heyday, multi-billion-dollar company, public.
It was the company.
Yeah, huge. And there are multiple companies, the eToros of this world and others, in the UK, the original, the OGs, let's say, the CMCs and the IGs, 40, 50 years ago that are public companies as well. Yeah. We have aspirations to get there. That doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. we have aspirations to be one of the top global brokers. And I think in terms of having the bolt-on with our prop desk is called Atmos, and the institutional division is called Taurex Prime. And we already have a team, and we have an infrastructure. We have a trading ops infrastructure. We have multiple platforms. We have everything that's required. We have the capital to focus on those two areas. If I focus on Atmos, first of all, on the prop side, we definitely saw the opportunity quite early, but we didn't launch Atmos until the end of last year on the funded trader program, our own. And the reason being is that we were actually first time we were providing liquidity to a lot of prop firms as early as end of 2023.
Okay.
So we were a liquidity provider, we were providing technology, and we were working with 15, 20 different prop firms. We delivered them a trading infrastructure, their platform on MetaTrader, and providing liquidity for their operation. And we saw firsthand of kind of, okay, let's have a look at this industry and see how it's moving. And we saw the initial kind of gold rush in that industry. We had one partner who sent 200,000 funded trader program to our platform. It's like wow. the 200,000 accounts on our infrastructure. So we saw firsthand of how quickly the industry is growing, but it's not yet a regulated product. Yeah. There's firms kind of starting and then closing, and why are they closing? Let's kind of sit out and evaluate, because again, our core business is Taurex, and we don't really want to muddy the waters.
Right. And hence the name is different.
Yeah, exactly. So we decided to go with a different brand because it's powered by Taurex. It is Taurex. It's broker backed, as we like to say. But we had that experience firsthand, and we saw the potential of the industry, and it was our decision was made. MetaQuotes decided that each prop firm needed to have their own MetaTrader platform, and so we pulled out of the partnership business, and we again sat out and evaluated what MetaQuotes, and we're actually in close discussions with MetaQuotes of how they see the industry, and that's when we decided to launch our own, because obviously the barriers to entry were more difficult at that point, where it wasn't so you can't just pull a platform. Yeah, there's other platforms out there, but the flagship even in that industry still is MetaTrader, and if we could be a broker-backed prop firm that offers MetaTrader, that understands how to offer and what the trading infrastructure needs to be, and also the risk management element. We have a full risk management team on the broker side, and we understand risk management. I know the client is not like for like completely. Yeah. It's a different client type, and they're trading within parameters. They have rules around their strategy, and take profits and stop outs and things like that. So the flow is different, but we have an infrastructure where we understand enough where we can grow, and we also decided to hire a team from the prop industry to run Atmos for us. Okay. So they have the support of our team, Taurex team, and we've kind of moved staff around to focus on the Atmos project. And it was a bit slow getting going, but the last 3 or 4 months have been incredibly positive. And we've landed some big partners on Atmos because they've seen the Taurex brand. We've landed some big affiliates in Asia because they know Taurex and seen the Taurex brand, and they want the security of working with a broker-backed prop. So it's evolving all the time, but the branding element, it takes time, but as it grows, it's kind of the rubber hits the road, and things just the snowball starts rolling, and things just grow and grow and grow. So that's been a successful venture so far. And wonderful. And then Taurex Prime is the insti, and we were already doing institutional business under the Zenfinex brand prior. Yeah. However, now we've rebranded to Taurex Prime. Recently did an event with Your Bourse, great party in Cyprus. But we're confident that we can grow that area of the business as well. So yeah, I think all three, it's basically different revenue lines and different pillars to the business that can contribute to the bottom line, and all of them are growing. So that's all we can ask for.
Wonderful. Wow, that does sound like a very smooth success story. You've built in the brand. Now the brand is supporting other brands around the group. That's great. Have there been any, let's say, failures or moments when when something that you wanted to do, to launch, to perform did not work out? Because so far it sounds like everything you touch becomes a success. So what was it, if you can share, of course, something that wasn't as successful, wasn't as easy from the beginning?
So I think with the global, the vast global, the speed at which we've done things is obviously had its own challenges, because we're moving around opening offices, it's finding the right people, the country managers, and making sure that we're hiring the right people locally. We have our core global team, let's say, in London, Dubai, and some global staff in KL as well. And that's kind of the global centralization element, the ultimate decision makers from a centralization. But then we have a localization element, which is client acquisition. So that's sales and marketing. So I think I can go through numerous challenges, but that's challenge number one is making sure that the level, globally is at the required level, and the expectations, the culture of the company, and what the expectation level, and making sure that the identity of the brand and the way that the brand's represented, is conform with what we're trying to achieve. In any case, I think in terms of some of the challenges, going globally, operational is the most challenging aspect. But the payment side, in terms of payment providers globally, it's not that easy, because we offer crypto deposits and withdrawals, which it's quite a we get quite a large number of crypto deposits and withdrawals, but local PSPs are quite challenging in terms of again, looking at Asia, there's a expectation level almost of instant deposits and withdrawals. Right, and it's that brings its own risks in terms of if you've got an automated system and there's a breakdown in the APIs and the technology side, that if there's a withdrawal went out that shouldn't have gone out, so we have caps on that, but it's also relying on the PSPs as well, that the technology can handle the instant deposit and withdrawal. We have a target now of within 15 minutes for withdrawals, up to a certain threshold. But I'd say it could be improved by the PSPs in Africa, Asia, South America, for that to become more of a formal approach in terms of, there's a lot of unregulated PSPs. It's challenging to find a regulated PSP that has really strong APIs. So I'd say the biggest challenge, and I wouldn't say it's a failure, but we've not been able to grow the business in Africa, for example, as quick as we'd wish, because payment providers have been challenging, and that's the case for all brokers. So operationally, we've certainly had our challenges. We've opened offices where we haven't been able to scale the offices as much as we would have liked. And it's, again, technology, it's operational, reliance on third parties. So we use cashiers, it's reliance on those third parties, that they're playing ball with what our strategy is and what our expectations are and what our clients' expectations are. So we've learned a lot through those failures, and especially working I think working with third-party providers those decisions are incredibly important, and we've got a great relationship with Your Bourse, so plug to... Yeah,
that was a good decision for sure.
So plug to Your Bourse there. I think the bridge technology and the trading infrastructure side of things is all good. I think client-facing in terms of picking a client portal that works well, and payments and onboarding and customization in different nuanced different regions. Getting that selection is very important, and I think it's very difficult. I mean, we're happy with our technology, but reliance on third parties is never that easy. So therefore, we're investing in our own technology. We've decided, a couple of years ago, that in order for this to really scale and for instant deposits and withdrawals, we need payment providers connecting directly into our own technology, which is currently not possible. So we're building all that at the moment. And there's certainly been challenges, but we're trying to overcome those challenges. We've got a strategy around how to scale around those challenges. So hopefully that answers your question. I'd say. Yep. Not crazy failures, but just making sure that the brand is represented in the right way globally, plus operational challenges that we've had when while we've been scaling the business.
Great, thanks for sharing. And yeah, I bet there were lots of small failures, which you just shared. Obviously, there weren't major ones. We wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
So, great. Happy to hear about the trading app as well, the trading technology. I believe it's an app, or is it a whole infrastructure? Can you tell me more about this tech that you're building in-house?
Yeah, so we, very early on in the business, decided that we want to focus on client experience, and also in terms of having differentiators as a company, as a brokerage. We've still got 80% of 78% of the market on MetaQuotes on MT5. Like a lot's moving to MT5 now, but prior to that it was MT4, as everybody knows, and that's kind of always been the flagship platform, and it still is. But I think if you look at some of the major brokers that have really hit it, the big time in terms of where they've scaled to and have the lion's share of the market, again, the likes of eToro, the IG CMCs of this world, FXCM always had its own technology, multiple others, XTB, plus 500, they do all their business on their own mobile app pretty much, and don't offer MT4 and MT5. And it's really having a roadmap within understanding and building your own technology of why you're doing it and what is going to be the outcome. So we have a roadmap that in terms of our app is live on the market right now, and and scaling that as well is, some of the numbers are quite crazy when you see we've not invested a huge amount into marketing yet, but we've already had 200,000 downloads.
Wow.
Of our mobile.
Is that all
app.
organic?
Organic and marketing, and we have invested a little bit of marketing into it, but the ROI on that spend compared to just normal advertising, you can't compare the two, and so there's real.
So the demand is there. So people do want to use other apps rather than the usual MT4, MT5, right?
Yeah, and I think also it's the marketing journey, the campaign, the campaigns that you're launching into the market of being able to funnel clients straight into your app. They go through a smoother onboarding journey. Payments is all there, and also they can obviously it's a trading app, so they can trade directly from the app. So that's even when you've got a bare bones app that is. We've always built our app around the user interface, and the look and feel is very modern. It's what you'd expect when you see an app in the neobanks. Yeah. The crypto guys who've invested billions into multi-millions.
Set the benchmark.
Yeah, so there's an expectation around what the user experience should be, and so we've been building the app over the last kind of 3-4 years, and we have a development team, our own in-house developers, and we've already invested multi-millions into that trading technology, but the whole bare bones of it is that the UI UX is strong. It looks like a modern app, and it allows new users to easily understand or have a easier grasp or a better grasp on how the market works. And so we have a roadmap of what we're building in there. There's going to be features and USPs that we believe are going to help newer traders. We're going to be building AI concepts in there, which is being built at the moment as well. So almost kind of instant feedback and personalized feedback, which again, that doesn't really exist at the moment, but that's where the industry is going towards, and that's where all industries are going towards, right? It's
AI everywhere.
AI is everywhere, right? And I wear this health Whoop, and it's got an app and it's got an AI coach in there of like, where should you be focusing on your fitness? And it doesn't really show, I don't think.
Work in progress.
Probably a lot less food, I think, most of the time. But yeah, it's the AI concept of getting that personalized feedback around your own data, and we're looking very closely at that area, and that's where the market's going. And I think in terms of the future as well, it's not just going to stop there. There's obviously a lot on the crypto side and tokenization and things like that. But I just feel as though now we've got the bare bones of the app, and we're not saying it's number one app in the market today, but it's a good app, and we've had 200,000 downloads already. But the roadmap of where it's going as well, we feel as though that is, for us in the next 5-10 years, is what will take us to that plus 500 XTB eToro.
Okay, I'll see you in 5 years. We'll have the same conversation.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll compare. Great. Well, we're looking forward to the big launch of the big app. I'll probably download it afterwards. See how it goes. And we kind of started touching upon this topic of the future and what's next for the industry in general and for Taurex in particular. I know you have lots of opinions and lots of ideas about it. Where do you think the industry is heading for, let's say, a Forex CFD broker as we know it today? How will the business change? How will the industry change?
Yeah. I mean, it's always the most interesting, part of looking at where things are going, right? Because as a founder and CEO, the strategic direction is quite reliant. It's kind of betting on which horse to bet on, and really investing in that area to then go after it, to be a part of the breakout of where things go. So I think two areas I've already said about the AI side of things. So I do think in terms of AI, and I just think that there's a lot of traders in the marketplace now. A lot of investors are investing in various real estate, stocks, commodities, whatever. Loads and loads of different investments where people can park their funds. But just in general, across all industries, AI is going to bring a lot more investors and traders to the market. I think it's just going to make things a lot easier for people in terms of understanding of where to invest and what to invest and why to invest. AI is either going to be like EA or algorithm, algorithmic type strategies. They're going to be easy to understand, and so there's going to be a lot more investment. When I believe that when people earn salary, that portion of that salary will go straight to investments, if that's into CFDs or real estate or whatever. But I think in terms of AI, that will change everything. And I think from a volume perspective, that volumes are only going to go up because there's going to be more AI type traffic. But I think from the broker perspective, and we have a risk management, but there's always a market maker on every trade. There's a buyer and a seller. And as most should be aware, that most brokers, if they're operating in an efficient manner, they should have some sort of hybrid model, market making and essentially sending out to the market and understanding how to manage that flow. So I think from the broker side as well, having the expertise of understanding how to handle the AI flow that's coming from the client side, but then how to handle that on an AI, your systems and controls around risk management, making sure that there's enough oversight and the systems and controls are solid and robust enough to be able to handle that. Because I just think flow is just going to continue to increase. So I think the AI side is really important. And then secondly is the crypto and blockchain space and the convergence of the two. So we're a traditional CFD broker, but we already take crypto payments as collateral for trading against CFDs, mostly in USDT. But the crypto exchanges, which have grown much faster than traditional brokers over the last 10 years or so, Binances of this world, Coinbases of this world, everyone knows the big names, but they have grown at such a incredible fast rate, a lot quicker than the traditional broker. But now the crypto exchanges are getting very interested in traditional assets, and they've got their way of looking at things, and they see a convergence as well. And so crypto exchanges are getting very interested in our business. I see, in terms of crypto, stable coins, a lot of efficiencies on the payment side. I mentioned about the PSP challenges. And so we're looking to build the full kind of infrastructure into our app of wallet infrastructure, where we will, on the underlying, become a crypto exchange and allow clients to hold crypto with us as a company, and for that crypto to then be used as collateral to trade against other assets. Whether those other assets become tokenized or not, from a CFD to pure tokenization, I think it will happen. I'm not quite sure yet of what that will mean for traditional CFDs. If everything will go to tokenization and it'll just be another form, still be built and the underlying asset class will still be constructed as a CFD, as a derivative, but in a tokenization format. I think that I'm not quite sure on that side of things yet. It's a wait and see of what happens there. But I do think in terms of being able to be invested in multiple asset classes, and then being able to be freely be able to swap and exchange that out for another asset class very, very easily. And even be able to pay other people in future, just friends, instead of if you're settling a bill at a restaurant, it might not be in USD or Thai baht or whatever it might be, being in Phuket now. Yeah. But I could send a Nvidia stock or a Bitcoin or whatever it might be, and just that free exchange of assets. So that is like really, really interesting. So I think that's where the future lies. The future lies in the convergence between the two is quite interesting. And we're looking at it very closely. And again, what we're building in the back end in terms of our own application and everything that we're doing in the back end is looking at this and making sure that we have the ability to jump on that horse and be able to ride the trend and ride the wave.
Elena will enjoy that metaphor.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. I'm also looking forward to all these changes with all the cross margining and the crypto adoption, and it's I see a lot of movements. Obviously, brokers, classical CFD FX brokers, I have not seen them doing much on the crypto space, but the crypto brokers and crypto exchanges becoming interested in the traditional asset classes, as you mentioned. Looking forward to all the new changes and everything that's going to happen with the industry and with Taurex. And I think we can wrap it up. That was wonderful, really insightful, very, very interesting to learn about the history, the background of Taurex and the plans. And I wish you guys all the best of success and luck with all your new ventures and the existing businesses.
Thanks
for
really
joining.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on, Kate. Really appreciate it.